talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but is actually a totally trainable skill. We're talking about upgrading your own intelligence. And today, we're going to explore how speed reading might just be the key to unlocking it all.
I mean, it's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point, right? We want to learn more, stay ahead of the curve, make better decisions. But what if the answer isn't just about cramming more stuff into our brains, but about learning to process all that stuff way, way faster?
So, for this explainer, we're digging deep into the ideas from a fantastic book called Speed Reading Faster by Jan Chiasek and Susan Norman. Think of it as our guide. And to get started, we have to do something kind of radical. We need to change our whole definition of what intelligence even is.
So, first things first, we got to reset our whole understanding of intelligence. Forget that old idea of your brain just being a dusty attic filled with facts you've collected over the years.
According to cognitive science, intelligence is really a two-part process. First, you have to be able to represent information, basically create mental models of the world in your head. And second, you have to be able to manipulate those models effectively to, solve problems or come up with new ideas. It's not just having the data, it's what you do with it. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates that shift in thinking. We're moving away from seeing the brain as that static library and starting to see it for what it is, a high-speed, dynamic processor. It's not about how big your mental hard drive is, it's all about the speed of your CPU.
Which brings us right to our next big point, the role of speed. I mean, if most people have the raw potential to learn, what's the thing that really separates the good from the great? Well, research points to this really fascinating threshold, somewhere around an IQ of 130 to 140. Now, people at or above this level can generally learn pretty much any skill or subject you throw at them. But here's the catch: if they have enough time. And that last part, that's everything. So, if the potential is pretty widespread, what's the actual game changer? The source material makes a powerful argument that it all boils down to one thing: speed. It's not just that highly intelligent people can figure things out, it's that they figure them out faster. That speed, that efficiency, that's the real edge.
Okay, so if speed is the secret sauce, how in the world do we get faster?
Well, this is where speed reading stops being just a neat party trick and becomes a tool for a legitimate cognitive upgrade. Let's really lean into that computer analogy. If your brain is the CPU, think of speed reading as the tool you use to overclock it. You're not swapping out the hardware you were born with. No, you're just maximizing its performance, pushing it to run faster and more efficiently than ever before.
And here's exactly how it ties back to our definition of intelligence. It directly juices up both of those core components. By increasing your input rate, you get faster representation. And because you're exposed to more ideas more quickly, your brain gets better at connecting the dots and seeing the big picture. And that's better manipulation. See how it works?
Okay, the theory is great. It's exciting. But how do you actually do it? Let's get practical and look at the actual toolkit that can build a faster mind. Now, these methods we're pulling from Speed Reading Faster aren't just about moving your eyes quickly across a page. Oh no, it's much deeper. It's about rewiring how your brain actually takes in and processes the written word. Let's break it down. So it's a 6-step process. First, you set clear goals. You have to know why you're reading something. That focuses the brain. Then you preview. Skim headings, look at pictures, get the lay of the land to create a mental map before you dive in. Then, as you read, you train your eyes to use your peripheral vision, seeing groups of words, not just one at a time. This is called chunking, and it's a huge deal. You stop seeing words and start seeing ideas. But the real magic happens next. You actively link this new stuff to what you already know. And finally, you review it regularly. That's how you build real, lasting understanding. Now, when you start putting all these techniques together, the benefits go way beyond just getting through your reading list faster. This is where you see some serious real-world impact.
Think about it. Professionals, you can finally conquer that mountain of emails and industry reports and actually stay ahead of trends. For students, this means absorbing textbooks and research papers way more efficiently, leaving more time for actual critical thinking. And for entrepreneurs, you can sift through market data and competitor reports at lightning speed, letting you make faster, smarter decisions.
And honestly, this quote from the book just nails it.
We're drowning in information, right? So access isn't the advantage anymore. Speed is. The ability to gather, process, and use information faster than everyone else, well, that's what leads to innovation and success.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that your mind's processing speed, it's not set in stone. It's not a fixed trait you were born with. It's a system, and that system can be trained, optimized, and upgraded. So the only real question left is, are you ready for an upgrade?
If the answer is yes, then the book that inspired this whole explainer, Speed Reading Faster by Jan Sisek and Susan Norman, is absolutely the best place to start. It's a practical, hands-on manual for putting these powerful ideas into action. Thanks for tuning in.